need both Stan and Nitro to hold it off. A kit on a Nitro too. So I have to imagine he's going to be playing pretty far back because he doesn't have the armor to really deal with the aim punch, but he's going to get smoked off. The counter smokes are going to come out from him as well. He's going to maybe decide to play it. The decision he was making on the spot, but immediately taken out of the game by Mixwell. Stanislaw entering back with one of his own. But the bomb plant still going down for Optic.
Fortunate at this point, Stan's kill was a little late to the action. JDM being tapped down at range. Freiburg and his block fade. Pulling kill after kill. Stan, last man standing, and well, that's pretty much about where that sentence ends as well. HS just gonna take him down a notch in Optic. We'll start off with a round win.
Optic 3 for 3 on pistols. Can they get 3 for 3 on the full 3-0? Liquid yet to buy a single. Okay, there we go. They already decided to do the full force up. Stanislaw with the CZ. Ooh, a little bit of a knife on the twist to start it off, but counter back with a little run boost.
Deagle, Nitro. Oh, completely blind as he peeks out, but somehow is still standing. Twist actually able to find the kill. Now they're completely blind. Mixwell looking to mop them up, and so he's shallow double. Perfectly crafted by the SMG. That's some easy money to be made as well, so certainly a lot of excitement there building for Liquid. Can't really do too much right now, though, of course, on that CT side. Already at a pretty significant disadvantage in terms of manpower, weaponry, HP, you name it. They're pretty much on the lower side. Stan at least doing some damage, but Freiburg is just going to whip out his USB to finish him off anyway.
Yes, unfortunately Stan ran out of ammo there. You almost thought for a second that he had it, but alas, pulled out a knife and couldn't really do anything with it. At that range now it's just JDM with the USB. 1-on-3, here's a flash coming in, but can he do much of this close range? Almost got another kill onto Freiburg, dropping him down to 15. But this is Optic, getting a 2-0 start, and Liquid down to the full 100% save.
I have a special request, Cammy. Yes. Can you do this for me? Can you just double tap escape real quick? Make the people happy, do what the people need. They want to see the ammo on the bottom left, see the HP. All that goodness.
Thank
now
you
that's out of the way.
It's a consistent thing that I forget. I live off of the side health. I live off of the side health. What can I say?
I live on the map. Top left is where my eyes are permanently.
Yeah, that too.
Be, but...
that too.
Ooh, this push. This is money to be made for Ali right now. Not going to be peeking out just yet. Only lays a bit of damage on towards Stan. But that's enough to actually push Liquid back. It's a little awkward for him as he does now lose a bit of money, but Nitro and Stan do stand their ground at least, and I need to stop coming out of words with Stan and then when I'm talking about Stan, because it gets a little bit repetitive. As Aloe does find both those kills, make that to a third and fourth. It all rolls off nice and easily, the MAC-10, making smooth work of a Liquid side who end up coming back for more, and that's something that Aloe is more than happy about as it upgrades to like a Lil as well, swapping out with Freiburg.
That's Freiburg. Not gave it to Freiburg because Alu with only 8 health don't want to send him charging through. Might as well give it to Freiburg who has a greater chance of getting the kill to get the 5-0 MAC-10 kill. Unfortunately, just gonna be Alu with the 4. But hey, as far as anyone to get the MAC-10 SMG farm off of, it's your op player. Surprised they're not upgrading, instead going for the freebie. Freiburg sticking with that MAC-10, even though Liquid now have rifles in their hands, including an op on the side of JDM. He did not upgrade his weapon on either round 2 or 3. So at least a little advantage in that. Freiburg does get 1 with the MAC-10 though, so kind of putting me in my place. Leash does trade that out. Door opens and double presence here, and Connection walking straight into a crossfire. Magic's Boy dropping Stanislaw as well as a Leash after Mixwell does go down, so it does give the man advantage over to Optic.
Alu being careful as he lurks the way up on towards that A site. Nitro, the target of course, crosshair painted on his back. Nitro's getting aggressive, the timing could be so uncomfortable, and so it is. Alu strikes him down with a good little upgrade to the M4. Meanwhile, the rest of his team, they were working towards that B site in fairness, but Magic's like, you know what, screw that. You just run up through connector, you get yourself in the A site, get a plant, and life is happy days for us, because JDM, he'll just be there on with the AWP on that B site expecting something. Trying to make something out of nothing almost. He'll be peaked by Magic, in fact. That's an AWP for free now for Optic.
Yeah. So, kind of the freebie round does come in. The MAC-10 gets a kill before it drops off in a 1-for-1 with the SMG against rifles.
I'm going to put this out there just because it has to be said. I don't know if this is valid or not, but apparently you've got about 5 FPS.
What?
So, make sure Make sure things are peachy on the stream. That'd be great, because I'm getting spammed as all hell right now that things are looking shaky. Suffice to say. So if you can double check that, that'd be real slick.
My game looks good. My OBS looks good.
Are you tabbing out of game at all? Is that happening?
No.
Maybe you've not got the command set where the game trashes the FPS if it's in the background. I don't know.
It's been up the whole time. I don't know. It seems fine from my end, but if I'm still wrong, if the complaints continue to come through, I can get a second look at it. But as of now, I can't tell anything up with it. So.
Well, there's the verdict, Twitch chat. I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to figure it out. We'll take it on the fly. I don't know what else to say. Pistols aren't really able to achieve too much in the round. JDM, at least on the big flank, and he'll probably be the player that watches. I don't imagine the rest of the trio of Liquid, being able to get up through dumpster and bank.
Twist with an AK picked, I imagine that he's going to be trying to save this, and he is on the inside of the smoke, not exactly trying to go for it. Maybe checking to see if anyone was going to come through, be aggressive onto him, and to give another free kill to him, another weapon for his team, but alas, Optic are going to be saving all that they can. JDM all the way back in playground, maybe catch a cheeky exit, but aside from that, Optic should be surviving with all four still left alive at the end of this. Liquid with the saved AK is going to help boost their economy on round number 6. Less than 5 story for Optic.
A very positive start. Of course, Liquid at least can now respond. But we're kind of already at a turning point in the game where Liquid, if they do fall short here, they do allow Optic to start to run away with things on their T side. And we are looking at a very different change. A change, I think, is by far the greatest way to describe it, actually, just from the first map and the way the rounds are being picked up, for sure, as Optic. Feeling strong, but this is the one to watch, and this is why it's so important. Liquid, of course, AWP to face up against Alu. HS just going to be going through the quick smoke, trying to force the pick to Nitro. Damage is just that, damage, not quite the kill. Magisk lurking out through connector, clearing out the top side. Meanwhile, Liquid, they're getting aggressive on short. Elige, he'll lose his head to Mixwell, however. But the repeat comes through, so far so good. Nitro and Stan both doing the job, enabling a quick 4 for 4.
But now here comes Freiburg rushing straight up onto the A side, is spotted out, and ooh, traded as well. Not traded perhaps, but taken out. Stanislaw does drop him. The bomb is being carried back through to spawn, perhaps just a little bit of a fake. Maybe trying to break the way onto the B site, or perhaps Optic have just been slowed down in their tracks and absolutely stopped, as it does seem to be the case right now. Well, trying to sneak up, maybe get a cheeky angle onto Stanislaw. Alu peeking out as well. Doesn't see anyone at Optimus. Bomb being carried up just right behind him. Stanislaw, don't peek up too much up those steps. You are going to be caught victim to a big green gun right in your face. More flash and smokes do come in from Optic. Running a little short on time, and JDM does miss the shot. And now he's smoked off as well. Easy bomb plan for Optic, but with the man advantage, especially with Nitro being flanked around, coming up from connector, should be an easy call for Optic to suspect something like this, and we do in fact see Mixwell crosshair in that direction. Liquid, they have a couple of kits, so they have a little bit of time to work with, but they shouldn't stall too much longer, and Alu finds JDM. Nitro and Twist.
Nitro. That's some serious pick work for him. Diffuse being stuck. Alu praying that shot landed, but nothing like the sort came true. Liquid, that's your first round, but I'm gonna be that negative dude.
Yep.
I'm gonna ruin the dreams of Liquid fans right now with this next statement. I'm gonna be accused of all the bias, all the toxicity, because I want to make a point out the fact that if Liquid get reset right now, this scoreline is gonna reek. It's gonna get real bad. Absolutely. Looking at what, 7-1 potentially? I mean, you have got $2,000 or so on Twist and Stand, which makes it better, but it's gonna really hurt Liquid either way.
Yeah, it wouldn't look good if they do lose this. They do have the double option, maybe try and help out. JDM with the first pick, Elige with the second, JDM with the third overall. Does maybe give a sigh of relief to all the Liquid players that you just made hold their breath.
I'm kind of glad. I want Liquid to give us a close game, so this is kind of what I want to be seeing, if I'm honest. JDM, they're playing very well again. Complimented in the last game, and I'll do it again now. Crucial double kill. HS still going to look to work his way back in. thing for Optic here is, and it's interesting to see why they're doing this, is they're playing very alone. They're not playing with each other at all. You've got Alu, who was kind of waiting to see if anyone will push Con. Meanwhile, HS is just embedded in short, just waiting to see if anyone will push him. It's an interesting approach. I mean, it could give them a kill on towards Twist, and it actually does. Okay. So it works out, but they've got a double stand. That Molly burning away basically now loses them the round. Alu, you'll push on through, sure, but Stan and Nitro are both going to be there.
I'm a little curious on why Twist decided to make that push when he did. I suppose he was just trying to go for some information. Ended up getting caught out. It's a little bit of bad luck on his side. And Liquid did save the second op, so they still have that in their arsenal. But still gotta say, with the 4-2 advantage, you know, just let the terrorists come to you. But nonetheless, Liquid did win that round anyway. Get their second. And Optic Gaming still able to buy up. But the money's not looking great. Magisk with just below 8k and Mixwell just below 7. That's a fair bit for them to work with. So perhaps probably going to be able to buy up on the next round as well, even if they lose this. So Liquid do have a little bit of an uphill climb if they want to really even things out. And force Optic into a save. Nonetheless, start of round number 8. Double up. Once again, let's Liquid. JDM with an early peek isn't going to find anything. Alu, in fact, is going to be able to find one onto Twist. Wins that off pool.
Nice start from Alu. Just positions with the back of tracks. Got to be careful though. Stanislaw debating the repeak. He just go backwards and forwards, missing a shot. Given a chance, but unable to make it to work. To get it to work, but that said, Nitro. Ooh, holding connector. Was timing.
Oh,
that
Magisk.
Is unlucky for Nitro, man. Magisk just on the ball, waiting for the peek, and the headshot comes right into play. Damn. To the backside of B now. You can see Liquid completely changing the way they're looking to hold the site. Instead of being on around pit or anything like that, they're basically stuck up towards graffiti. Optic, meanwhile, just pressuring the entirety of that A site from long, from short. It just all becomes a struggle.
Optics do have their optics on A. Two-man defense here. Liege being mollied out. HS finding JDM on Optimus as well. So really not much of a chance for Liquid in this round. Stanislaw still stuck on B, trying to spot out for any lurk. Looks like they know they have no chance on the retake here, and so instead just trying to save these rifles to give them a better boost into round number 9. They are going to concede this round. It's going to be Optic going up 6-2, maintaining a pretty healthy lead on the T side of Overpass, no less.
Patience now, of course, being employed by Optic, as they are just going to let the bomb tick on down and make some money off the back of it. Not losing a single player, just like you say. It was Liquid. Sure, it was 2 rounds, but it didn't really make a difference. They are still going to be reset. Their economy is still going to be rough around the edges, but the fact they saved should allow for some form of buy if they want it. It's not going to be perfect. It's not even going to be comfortable, but it should be good enough. Yeah, it actually is
pretty decent.
It's actually not as bad as I thought. I thought they'd have to go for 2 SMGs, but they get the 3rd rifle out, which makes it even better. I think Nitro being on the MP9 isn't bad. Just get them aggressive on short. There's no reason not to take full short control right now. You have the molly there as well, so Nitro playing so far so good, but then they give it back straight away, which it surprises me they don't want to just keep it.
Nitro is staying position in here. However, you have to wonder about HS barely made it on the other side of that hole before Nitro was able to catch him out, so that could be something that kind of stabs Liquid in the back. Rest of them is Optic, putting pressure here on bathrooms. Counter nades coming out from Liquid, don't find anything. Look like they're coming in through connector. HS finding Nitro right off the bat. So he's here to try and contest. Mixwell finds Stanislaw walking through the smoke. Oh, taking position, gets, can't actually finalize that spray down on Magisk. Only jumps on 4, and HS coming in through Monster. He's gonna take him out, and Alu drops the lead as well. So now it's just JDM with an op. Even misses the flick. Nothing's going the way of Liquid on this round. Tries to go out, perhaps get the no-scope, but HS with the 3rd onto JDM. Really solid round for Optic. And that destroys Liquid's economy.
Liquid now, not a foot to stand on. Just $2,000, give or take a $50 note or so. Leaves them in such a sour spot. 7-2, likely to be 8-2. And this is where the game could spiral out of control. Optic really controlling the economy of Liquid, which is something that we saw happen a fair bit in the first game, but it wasn't Optic doing it. It's surprising to see them turn the tables here. Kill after kill, simple as that. They click their fingers and Liquid crumble. They push Riot in, feeding the machines.
Look at the
Optic
money.
stand over their opposition with, yeah, 10,000, 12,000. I mean, at this point, talking about Optic's money is redundant.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they have a pool in their house.
I actually don't think there's a chance for Liquid to put Optic into any save for the rest of this half at this point. Liquid are going to try and answer back. Now they have rifles back in their hands. 5 M4s across the board, but no hits. So they can't afford much of a bomb plan, but a nice boost on a Liege is going to find HS. So that's something to start with. That's something to work with. And they do back off for Magic to come and answer back with a kill to the zone. Pulling back from bathrooms onto A is going to concede a little more map control to Optic for them to pick up. But with the man advantage, that's fine. You can play conservative. You can allow Optic to come to you because you know you have the advantage when it comes to a full crossfire.
Time ticking down. Liquid, the man advantage to work with. How do they respond? Aloe going to be putting JDM under pressure, but you got 2 players there, which should give you an easy kill, or at least a trade at bare minimum. Bear in mind, Aloe's flashes are being thrown much deeper. He's not expecting those 2 players just holding the crossfire. But if JDM peeks too far to the left, then it's a 1v1 and the crossfire gets nullified. JDM, why do you peek? That is such a basic crossfire. Now you give him a chance. The repeat comes in. Aloe's position is known. A Liege, meanwhile, spraying away, does secure the kill. Gets both of them, in fact. So the saving grace of the round. Make that another shot as well. No scoping Freiburg, I think.
Yeah. Magic able to kind of come in from behind. Don't know if he was just spotted out by a Leech right there, but Leech holds angle. Gets the leg shot. Only jumps down to 16. Nade just barely doesn't go far enough. And Stanislav from behind is going to drop Magic Boy. So Liquid. Actually a pretty strong round, however.
Debatable. That's
debatable.
I don't know if I call that a strong round or a God of Liege round, because
True.
a Liege single-handedly
That's
saves
true.
that. JDM had no reason to peek, but he peeks out anyway. Sure, his mindset could be, I'm gonna swing, and then my team they won't be checking corner, but they checked corner as we saw, and
They did check
Liege
anyway,
made noise
yeah,
as well.
exactly.
They knew both players were there at that point, so JDM basically didn't need to face. Thankfully, Liege picked up the AWP, basically did God's work with the rifle as well. So yeah, let's strip away Liquid from doing that. That is all on a Liege.
I
It
apologize.
really has to be stressed.
That was a reflex on my end, I admit. Let's see if anyone on Liquid can pull off something similar to that, because Optic Gaming coming back and they want to strip the economy right out of Liquid's hands. Right when Liquid think they're able to gain at least a little bit of control, build something on the end of this first half. They only have 3 rounds, and that's really like nothing to work with, especially when we're talking about going on to the T side of Overpass. Even getting all like, the rest of these last 4 rounds on Liquid is still much below par. Give them something able to do it. And that actually was a spot of HS coming up short onto B. So rotate is pulled in from a Liege, at least halfway through. Starting to fall back a little bit just in case.
Good molly. Stanislaw under pressure, peeks out, swings onto Freiburg, starts to let rip. The Magic Boy will find the trade. Flashes in somewhat blind. Nitro still able to do the dance. HS putting in the work, but Nitro still standing. Nitro opens up for a triple kill, leaving just Aloe all alone. Optic putting their hope on his shoulders, and he's 8 HP with an AWP. JDM watching the flank of his teammate. Now looks back towards short, hits the shot.
The unscopes, too. Unfortunate timing. That's going to allow Liquid to get their 4th.
First the Liege, now Nitro. Who's
Yeah.
next to step up from Team Liquid?
Are they just throwing darts at this point? You get... now it's your turn to get a Stanislaw. Now it's your turn, Twist.
That was seriously nicely done by Nitro, though, not
Yes.
to even make a joke about it.
Yeah.
His positioning towards the back of pillar, secured not just 1 kill or even 2, he managed to get the full-fledged 3. Completely destroying that short play, which even if he only killed 2 or even at bare minimum one player there, likelihood is the site would have been completely overwhelmed and the round would have been completely different. But for him to find 3 just changes everything.
It really does. As we said, Optic though still able to buy for the immediate future. With aggressive maneuvers up towards Fountain. Yeesh. On the rails, trying to peek out and over, but it's going to be pressured down in connector. Stanislaw having to back off, having to concede, but at least he's able to keep his life. Continuing into the 5-on-5. Holding a nice angle. He knows there's danger just below him. Let's see if we can actually catch Optic out by surprise. Boy, and taken out. Can't quite get the second. Mixwell does trade it out, but a lot of damage on return. Mixwell dropped down to 22 HP. Perhaps wanting to be chased down by the members of Liquid, but that Molotov is instead just going to be placed out to stop their advance.
"55 seconds. All that remain. The 13th round of play. A lot riding on this if you're a Liquid fan. You know for a while they need to find more in this half, especially on their CT side. They're up to 4 for now. The 5th, certainly the target. JDM nearly overexposing himself, but actually gets away with a quick kill. And a second JDM, the headshot flick to HS. Ironic in play, but the kill certainly beautiful nonetheless. Alu over on towards A-Long, and he'll be working up towards that corner. Looking to slip him behind JDM. Leaf meanwhile doing just the same on Freiburg. Leaving the bomb completely poised between those 2 players. Alu finding the shot. But a way back into this round is incredibly tough for Optic.
Yeah.
Liquid, 8 seconds is all they've got to do. And Alu, there's nothing left to fight for.
1-on-3 does catch the shoulder, and oh, timing is not on his side, as he was also spotted on return. Liege quickly swinging around that corner. Alu almost had the guess on that, but alas, did not. Now Team Liquid actually able to gain their 5th. Really struggling start for them. Looks like they're able to claw back inch by inch, and you know, they're still impossible for them to win this round, to win this half. But they're at least making it look a little more competitive at the very beginning. Optic looked to just be steamrolling everything.
Twist going to be going for the aggressive monster peak. Doesn't see anyone though. That Marley acting as actually quite the wall. Magisk and Mixwell are in short. Nitro clearly knows someone's there and can hit a fire. Ticking away at them. Have to be so careful though right now if you're Optic. You're giving so much information up to Liquid that you've allowed them to set up in these very comfy crossfires. Looking at Nitro and San, that's a good example of that. Ignoring the position of Twist because he's just the cherry on top.
Look at JDM and Liege.
Alu's making so much noise.
Yeah.
Liege is going to like literally be so comfy with his peak. I mean, does he whip out the knife is the question. No, because Alu turns around, but he'll still lose his head either way, which, I mean, it is what it is. Capital punishment.
Yeah. They had no clue it was coming. Now they're trying to come in on B and get a trade to HS and Mixwell. Mixwell with 2. So actually, even after that flank, they still force in onto the B site, and they get the site with ease. Elish does finally trade back with another onto Mixwell. Try to do some more damage, but Freiburg through the smoke does drop a lead. Now it's just JDM in a 1-on-3. He has a kit and quite a few number of nades, but still 1-on-3 with an op retake. It's looking very, very difficult for him. Mixwell also sneaking. Oh no! For a second, looked like Mixwell, or not Mixwell. I'm talking about Magic Sport, the other M guy, gonna be sneaking up on him, but it looks like they're gonna allow him to save. It's gonna be the 9th round for Optic. Right when I say Liquid were looking stronger.
I think they've already got to 5 rounds though, which, considering what the half was originally looking like,
Yes.
this is already a huge improvement. Almost twofold.
Yeah. Terrorists win. Absolutely. Let's see what the money looks like for these teams. It's not. It's actually really bad for Liquid. It's really awful for Liquid.
Yeah, I was wondering what word you'd use to describe it for Liquid, really, because I could see you thinking about it. Like, you could almost hear the cogs ticking in your brain as you were thinking of it, looking at the scoreboard.
Is there any way I can spin this? No, it's just.
No,
it's
there's
just bad.
there's no way you can spin that. It's just rough. I mean, they've got 2 CZs, they have got a rifle and nitro, but there's an MP9 and an AWP. Like, how do you set up this round if you're Liquid? The answer is you kind of cobble it together. Elige already being pushed against the brick wall by a frag grenade and then a follow-up molly. That's 40 HP basically being taken from him with nothing he can do to respond.
He's able to retreat at least. JDM with the saved AWP watching his back. They are able to remain with the full 5. More mollies and flashes coming out, and that does push JDM back. He plants to smoke to stop any quick push up from Banana. HS coming in too short is going to drop Twist, so that's the first pick going over to Optic. Can they grab any more before any return fire comes their way? I saw jump spotting. I don't know exactly who he saw, but at least sees the door open. Here's the gunfire. Knows there's some pressure. Yep. Spots one member directly in the face. Gonna toss a grenade right there. See if it can't. Ooh, yeah, it does drop mix 1 on 65, so that's something. Possibly they can capitalize on.
Patience now being employed from Optic. Not gonna rush just yet. A chance being given to them by Short. Stannis and Nitro taking the push, and Optic happy to embrace that. Hands over a pretty significant set of firepower. Elige and JDM at least surprising us, but Magisk is feeling good. JDM dunking him out. But Freiburg's position is enough to secure the round overall. 10-5 will be the scoreline. Optic coming in fighting on Overpass.
Sorry, I had a little gasp because at the end there when the Elige flicked over onto Freiburg, you almost think for a second that he actually had that kill and able to return to a 1v1. But unfortunately for Liquid, that is not going to be the case, and Optic, as you said, are going to go up 10-5 on this half. Liquid with half the points that Optic does, going into the significantly less favored side. Dare I say they need the pistol? I know that's usually an exaggeration that a lot of people make.
It's a fair point. I mean, it's 10-5, but it's very important for Liquid still to get the pistol, because if that first buy doesn't go their way, the scoreline can still be blown out of proportion very quickly. It just means that they have a little bit more leeway than a potentially more brutal half. The start of this pistol hasn't been too bad for them either. Bear in mind, JDM did take down likes of Magisk, I believe.
Yes, but look at HS. Actually had the flank, but instead went down through connector. I don't even think he spotted the bomb. It is spotted out by Elige now in return. So that potential flank actually not coming to fruition for Optic. And I know they have a player isolated. He's going to be able to make his way back up through T-spawn, make his way back onto B, and so not completely taken care of, even though Liquid are sending more people out their way. Stanislaw also on long, trying to send some shots out onto A. Can't quite get any of them to land, but Liquid with a man advantage is still a minute left to work with. Going to be coming down onto short. Straight into B. It's going to be up to HS. He's ducking down to dodge any potential flashes, as well as listening for footsteps, and they don't check him. He even stops the plant for Twist before he can get any seconds down on that. Elige does trade it out immediately right off the bat, and so Liquid with the man advantage is still, particularly now that JDM has made it all mix well. 1-on-3, bomb plant down. 1-for-1 at the end. Liquid do find the pistol, with 2 still alive.
A solid start, Liquid. This is a long road in. It may not seem it. 4 rounds seems fairly short, right? Fairly easy. But this is much harder for them, because they have to keep these rounds clean. They have to build up that economy and not let Optic come in with a surprise pistol play. I'm cautious here, for example, because we've got the Scouts and the Deagles and stuff. We've seen what Optic have been able to do to them in this game so far. Overpass has definitely been a bit of a struggle for Liquid, but hopefully this is the start of something truly special. What's a lot of SMGs for Liquid here does mean that money-making potential exists. But we'll have to see. It was very passive play from Liquid, very much withdrawn all across the map, really not facing anything at all. Giving a lot of respect to Optic in these pistols.
Alu did let out a shot, so Liquid know that there was at least a scoped weapon on the other side. Not too much pressure, though, I can't imagine. As now Liquid taking control of long. Bomb in tow. Multiple members up. Stanislaw not coming up from G-spawn. Was currently looking on B, but now is going to relocate up with his teammates. Magic's boy, first man of contact, potentially. Being on the short side of bathrooms. No one's coming his way, however. Looks like nades getting set up. This is the entrance onto A from long. There you go, Nitro in first. Or second match he was, but Twist does find Mixwell on the flank. Alu position also not able to get any kills, but Freiburg and Magic Boy do answer back with kills of their own. Make it into a 2-on-3. Magic Boy's position is known, is going to get smoked off, and that plant's going to come through. Can HS peek out and stop it? No, he's going to hide on the side of the smoke. Wait to see if he can come his way. Does get a kill on a Nitro, but easily traded out. Now it's just Magic's left with the Scout 1-on-2. No kit, but he does have armor. And instead just going to go for the 5-7. Up close Scout is going to be too much help for him.
Walking into the crosshair of Stanislaw, and there it is. Falls into his arms. Liquid securing their 7th. But that's why I'm always so cautious. It comes down to such a close 1v2. But a round is a round. Kills are kills. Liquid clawing their way in. 10-7. But they're just running off of what they gained from Pistol. We still have yet to see a buy. But I'm still going to be fairly reserved. What we are going to see here, at least, is just Pistols. And that should be Liquid's 8th.
I'm still waiting to see if JDM can get how much farm he can get with that Mac 10. He's going aggressive. He wants it. The stack is going to be on the beat on feet, however. So at least right now in bathrooms, he's not going to be able to find anything. Stanislaw the Lone Lurk, just outside Monster. Optic Gaming stack up, hoping that things fall into their hands, which they still might. However, now that JDM and Twist making the way onto A, should be calling out sooner rather than later that it's terribly empty. And yes, we do see Stanislaw rotating back, grabbing the bomb, coming all the way to A. So that stack doesn't work, and JDM, he wants these kills. He's running straight below down the stairs. He's going to check the corner where Mixwell is. Doesn't see the shoulder. That's Mixwell. That's an easy knife for him to grab. Yep, there we go. It's going to be the knife. Luckily for Liquid, it's just the Mac 10 for him to pick up. Yep, bomb plant still has to go down. So with that time for the rotate, Optic maybe get in a position to try and contest this. They do have the man advantage even with only pistols and one simple little USB. Can't imagine that it would go their way, but they can maybe grab Twist does get another kill, but he's taking out an 8 HP, so he needs to retreat as quickly as he can. Alu trying to chase him down, and by all means, it is Alu grabbing Twist. He does answer back. Now just Magic Boy and HS. A lot of damage being tossed out, and HS actually getting a kill while fully blind. So Liquid, they are
Flash
getting
begins
this
to
round.
fade, but it's just way too much damage. Liquid.
Yeah.
They're able to stomach it because of the money they've made, which is at least ideal, but Optic now will roll up against them. With all the weaponry to boot this time, not just USPs and such.
Yeah. That's the thing, that these rounds, the last one and the one before that, even against saving / forcing, like light buying players, was quite expensive, and so we're not going to see Liquid with quite the amount of buffer in their economy as we saw Optic on the first half.
JDM flash in hand. I like this from him. Could lead to a very early kill depending on the position of HS and whether he wants to embark further forward. He's playing super close to that tunnel. Same narrative for Mixwell as well, so it's kind of nice we're seeing the boost come in. Could be some early information picked up by Liquid. Repeat, 2 quick kills. Liquid almost giving them on a silver platter. Very nicely done. The flash was good towards Monster. Stanislaw as well. A good peek and connector. The foundations of Counter-Strike for Liquid just netted them those 2 kills.
So hiding in the corner, smoke fades right in front of his eyes, and no one is possessing themselves. There's going to be a Liege peeking around the corner, aware of a potential enemy in that position. He's going to make it a 5-on-2 advantage for Liquid. You see Magic Boy coming from behind, so he could catch JDM out, but he's stomping around. Oh, I'm surprised JDM actually didn't hear him. And that's going to be an easy kill for Magic Boy to grab, as well as the op drop. Try and backstab. It's like Alu is taking the more conservative approach. Not exactly going for the retake, or he just now peeks out. Didn't quite spot Stanislaw's head. Or perhaps he does. It lets some shots out into the void. But alas, it is going to be Magic Boy picking up that op and then going to save that. It should be the 9th round for Liquid. Yes, indeed it is. In fact, going to be. So we were saying Liquid really struggled in the first half, but they're 1 away from tying it up now. Got the pistol and the first rifle. So on a map that is so CT heavy, Liquid are starting to bring it back. Even on a map that, well, yes, is so CT heavy, but also one that they're not terribly comfortable on looking at their history.
Let's see how this plays out. Optic, very little to spend. Well, they'll commit to it, knowing with those AWPs they're worthwhile. Lots of FAMASs, SMGs, but it's definitely a strong buy from them. Curious to see what the game plan of Mixwell and Alu is going to be. Of course, Mixwell over on towards that B side. Alu, meanwhile, towards toilets on the A side, holding for that push. Could be good for a kill here. Elige nearly losing his head, but Alu given a chance on towards Twist nonetheless. Peeks out, double dipping for a second. Magic's gone towards Nitro. This could be very painful. Stan, life intact thanks to a missed shot, but the second chance, that's not going to fool Alu. Actually quick switching, so scrap that for a second. This is looking a little bit tedious now. Alu give it a chance to also kill off JDM, but neither of which go at a fool. But it doesn't really matter at this point because so much of an advantage has been staked by Optic. It's a 4v2. We've got a minute to work with. Liquid in a really dire spot.
Yeah, it's really not looking good. They have virtually no health, virtually nothing, no map control, not much to go off of. They just have to hope they get some quick early kills in order to get on this bomb site. They have just under a minute, so time isn't terribly against them. But as a terrorist, time is always against you. That nade, ooh, doesn't fully connect. Just tickles Stanislaw a little bit more. I'm slowly walking in through the smoke. Stanislaw would make a way into the little corner. JDM watching his back. Another flash comes out from the A site. I'll continue to jump spot. Does see JDM actually takes his head clean off. Freiburg is coming in from long. Perhaps get the return, and they're not watching for it, and in the smoke, JDM cannot get the bomb plant down. Now it's just Stanislaw left. No time for the plant at this point. Has to just hope to save this AK right now. Again, Freiburg is able to get the kill. Oh, but can he get away? Just barely around the corner. HS pulled out his gun just a second too late. So it is going to be Liquid saving the op. And so now they can buy up around it.
Down to the wire. Both teams almost at their knees when it comes to their economy. $200 amongst many a player. A few thousand on some, but the lucky few, I think, is the fairest way to describe them. Optic able to chime in with just one round. Liquid now playing for that reset. Alu going for that early fountain-based pick, just staring them down. Hawkeye. Nothing comes his way just yet. It's the long play from Liquid. Not in the sense of time, but in sense of quite literally a long 4 players charging on up corner. Completely obliterated by Nitro. He just has no care in the world of anyone potentially being there. Instead, they are just going to be taking those fights, and the problem is, Optic have no idea. They've neglected their long hold. Freiburg finally get a peek, but it's way too late to the party. Nitro taking down Alu. Freiburg trying to survive. Let's rip with his FAMAS, but it's not going to be enough. Liquid given 2 kills, given the A site, and most importantly, given that reset potential on Optic. And now the alarm bells start to ring. You start to think, Optic, should you save? Is it worth retaking? Those weapons are important. JDM taking down Magisk cements that save because they need those 2 rifles.
Yeah, I was going to say Magisk could be the one thing to swing it back into Optic's favor. He actually able to make it pretty far up connector before the play from Liquid revealed itself. And so perhaps I'm kind of the front foot. What? Stanislaw.
How long was Mixwell looking at him
right
for?
There. I didn't actually know for a second.
Just
what?
a question.
Yeah.
I feel like Mixwell was staring at him for like a few seconds. I don't know if that's just me.
No, I saw that too, and actually when I saw Mixwell post out, for a second I thought that he was also on Liquid's team. Just because it looked so like, wait, who's me? Where?
That was weird.
Yeah. Nice catch people off guard. So Optic do save an AK at least at the end, but Liquid one more round away from tying it up, and Optic with nothing but that AK as well as a couple of pieces of armor and some upgraded pistols. By all means, this round should be in Liquid's court. Can only find a pick on a Nitro. Just barely spots his head, I think, but Nitro holding the angle. Always trying to peek out. Can't find any dome shots. In fact, himself dropped down to 51. And also coming on to connect and push boosted players away from Optic. So Liquid haven't gained too much map control on their own, but they're at least forcing Optic back.
Slowly but surely, Liquid looking to abuse the same point of weakness for Optic. And I hate to say it, but it feels like it still is just that, a point of weakness. And this is where I just raise a simple question. Optic, where's your respect for very long? You've just been owned by any long push. No one spotting towards it is very, very risky. Thankfully for them, Elysian Nitro decide to dip in towards the park connector and head down toilet, meaning that now they have a little bit more of a... is an easier chance. But this is hard. This is very hard for Optic. Nitro are going to be taking just a contact peek, gets on the bench and doesn't have the angle. Magic's losing his life. A swift headshot. Alec hiding behind the corner. He'll lose his head too, and it all just begins to fall to pieces. Optic. Now 3 players left, and AK still on play. The whole A site completely smoked out.
Yeah, Mixwell walking away from this when he wants to save this AK. A 5-on-3, trying to retake with 2 players less, and especially in equipment-wise, a lot, even more less. Just wants to save this AK for one more round, bringing in around number 23, but it's going to be all tied up, 11-11. By all means, unless, of course, Optic quickly turn on a pin and run and getting instant headshots, making a liar out of me. This should be the 11th round for Liquid. Nice headshot to Freiberg. Coming up from behind dumpster.
Has to be said for Liquid. You combine this with the pistol. This is a pretty strong T side, to say the least. They got themselves 4 back-to-back. That is including pistol, in fairness, so definitely some bias there. Sure, then Optic then picked up a buy on round 20, but after that, Liquid have been able to close out both of those rounds. Look at Optic's money here as well, bear in mind. Liquid should be able to take the lead.
Should trademark. With a couple of asterisks around should. We all know how loaded that word is in esports, particularly in Counter-Strike. But indeed, it is definitely Liquid favored this round. Nice nade out from Stanislaw is going to drop HS down to 70. Matches were here at long. Finally putting some pressure there when they're on a save. Only do so much with the USB, but in fact it's going to be Stanislaw taking the first point of contact. Is chased down by Freiberg because they know just how lit he was, and that's the second AK to be picked up on Optic. So this could be something to turn it all around. But Freiberg, is he going to be able to get away? He knows there could be some pressure coming out from Connector. In fact, taking the pre-fire in through that tin wall. He was a little bit to JDM, as well as secures his escape. At the same time, Magisboy peeking out of long, can't quite get a headshot. That's going to be Nitro taking him out. Thought it was for Elige for a second, but Nitro has his best buddies back. We'll be back in the driver's seat on this round. 4-on-3, making their way up both sides. The route to A, and ooh, Freiberg jump spotting does spot Nitro out. Wonder if Nitro spotted him in return. I want to say he did, as there is already shots coming out from the other side. Freiberg trying to retreat. Nitro's able to find him. Gets a second kill on a Mixwell. He should be able to get... No, should. Is getting the bomb plant down. Alu coming in. Steps. On the back of A. Trying to get a little sneaky. Virtually no way, or should I say literally no way at this point, but there's virtually no way for him to win that round, but still trying to find some cheeky damage, some cheeky exit. This is going to be Liquid taking the lead, 12-11. Optic on the buy once again of their own. Try and answer back and keep it tied up between the two of them. But look, Liquid, finally they're building up really big of a bank. Stanislaw down to 1700, but everyone else looking quite pretty, if I do say so myself.
Finally, Ali back towards long. The Liquid, we are hitting anything but towards A. They really want to put some pressure on towards B. You can see that evidently. But just the sheer amount of manpower placed on towards B short right now. You've also got JDM watching from tracks. Seeing if he can find HS, who is sitting very close to those tunnels, just up in the edge of the smoke.
Liquid. Heavy presence around B. Not a single player looking around A. There's only 2 defenders on the side of Optic.
The read is perfect. Knows that HS is in it. That's such a big kill to find. Mixwell now under so much pressure. Throws a nice defensive flash, but Twist is going to gobble him right up. Freiberg trying to save the round. A double kill connects. A headshot on towards the lead. Stanislaw taking down Magis. Starts to cause a further problem. Alu overwatching from above. Finds a pick with the AWP. Twist back again with the trade. Putting it all on towards Alu. Grenade landing at his feet, unable to deny the plant, but the kill towards Stan looking likely if he peeks to the left. It all depends on the communication of Liquid now.
Now more or less his position. They have a crosshair set up for it. Twist wants out his dome. Ooh, Alu almost hits it in return. Almost hits a jumping Stan as well. Stan retreating back inside the smoke. Looks like Alu has now given it up. Able to delay him enough and can't even allow him to retreat. It's a full wipe.
That's
Liquid up
unfortunate.
13 to 11. And look, Optic's money back down low. Gonna have to save once again.
2 chances for Aloe, unfortunately, to make it a 1v1. Both times over, he was given the 1v1 as well onto that respective player, but they were very tough flicks to find, I will say that. Can't really expect too much from him, but unfortunate nonetheless in the way it played out. But as you described, 13 to 11, the economy of Optic is shaky ground. This could be Liquid ending this series. Bear in mind, Map 1 swung their way.
Blue does catch out Twist coming in through connector. So that's another AK to work with. It would allow him to save it. He can't. Oh, he does actually get a second kill into Nitro as well. So really sloppy of an anti-eco hold for Liquid, at least at the start. And Optic going to be jumping on this advantage. Multiple players coming up from connector. That's 2 AKs for them right now to grab. Freiburg or Mixwell wants to hold that. Now Liquid couldn't expect this much presence here in connector. Sanasaw watching there behind, while the rest of the team Liquid are making their way up long. This boy with the deagle is holding the very end of it. It's going to be Freiburg watching the entrance. Too short, watching party. Another Stanislaw. Rather than worry about what's in connector, clearing the way through Monster, or at least eventually through Monster onto B. Looks like Optic are aware of this potential. They move 2 players back onto the site. He's just coming in from behind.
But things get really quite hairy now for Liquid.
Yeah.
Contact already being taken. Freiburg caught off guard by Stan. Both of them facing up against each other. Meanwhile, Magist playing the role of Alu, the Overwatch. Down towards that site. It was good smoke from Elige. Somewhat nullifies him and tapping away with a rifle. Eventually leaves him headless. HS is going to come in from short. Posted up by JDM, who does secure the kill. Liquid up to 14. 2 away from closing it out. Optic. A huge, huge buy. And a rightful pause as well. Really need to talk this one through.
That backstep from HS could have been pivotal for Optic to take it, but wasn't actually able to net any kills. Even at that range, you could still do a little damage, but I don't think he landed a single shot onto I believe it was JDM and Elige going in through Monster. You imagine you'd be able to get one of those that would completely turn in Optic's favor. But instead, did nothing of the sort. Liquid coming onto the B site, able to take all the picks that they needed. And even though they ran a little bit on time, a little bit low on time to get that bomb plant through, they grab their 14th, 3 rounds ahead. Optic able to buy with an op into the hands of Alu. But if they lose, like, this is the last chance that they have, pretty much. If Optic can't win this round, then what can they get? Alu running in through the fire and flames. Get an extra pick, and is he going to go on Nitro? No, he's not. Can't quite see him through the other side of the fire. Nitro getting 2. I believe I just had a little bit of a lag spike there, so I apologize. Nonetheless, Nitro finally gets traded out by HS. Rest of Liquid coming in onto B. Magist Boy coming from behind from the connector for Twist turns around. Can't quite pounce on him though, as Magist Boy does even it up to a 3-on-3. JDM misses a shot, throws out a Molotov and gets behind the corner just in the nick of time. But look at all the damage that's on Optic, even though the man advantage is all tied up.
This is a hard round to watch. So much mayhem, so much just quite literal chaos. Stanislaw looking to be the initiator though. Liquid thankfully saving themselves by bunching +3 towards Monster, and this could win them the round ultimately. Magisk out of the action over on towards A long, putting it on towards the shoulders of HS and Mixwell to deny Liquid that series point. As slowly but surely they step on up. Mixwell looking towards short, but soon enough he'll realize that it's a contact play, and they are hungry. Hungry for him. Contact comes in, the spray down looking likely. HS doing a good job, but Stanislaw has got something to say. A headshot connects, and it leaves Magisk one man standing up against 2. 19 HP. 2 flashes to his name and a kit on his body. Stanislaw finding the plant. JDM is posting towards Monster and Short, but Stan will finish it off. Liquid, series point. And 4 to play with, bear in mind.
Yeah. And a lot of money to play with as well. Mixball bringing out the Mag 7, my boy. See if we can't do anything with this first shotgun we see in this series. Shotgun, not something we see often on Overpass. When I think of shotguns, I think more of Nuke and Cobblestone. So see if it can't be used to good effectiveness here. And you're taking it on the bridge. Brother. It doesn't matter. The twist is actually spotted out by Magic Boy and Connector. That's the first pick going over to Optic. And with the smoke there, it's going to be difficult for Liquid to trade it back. He's able to get back to safety.
Slowly does it. It's going to be the name of Liquid right now. The aim of which, just to be very careful about how they approach these sites. HS being spotted. Stan unable to find the kill. We'll just run back, doubling into the smoke. Group up as a team now. Liquid rocking a game plan at least. There's that. Mixwell just holding the short angle. Timing going to be so important. If he peeks, that's potentially a kill, but if he doesn't peek and he just holds the angle, Stan can face into him. There are so many variables for the CT side.
Definitely hears their footsteps. Now he smokes some knowledge. They're also clued in. He does peek out, but can't find anything as Stanislaw immediately takes his head off. What could have been their saving grace does nothing of the sort. Fiber going to leave. One trade. Nitro with another makes it just Alu and Magic Boy trying to defend this site. Nitro caught in the corner, and Alu does get the shots needed to take him down, and does make it a 2-on-2. But Liquid are able to get the bomb plant.
That's tough to watch. Some whiffs, some awkward sprays. It ends in a 2-for-2. Magis blind. Alu stuck towards heaven. JDM just pulling further and further back. Team Liquid playing to end this one 2-0. Alu pushing into the crosshair of a Liege. Deep frag grenade, but nothing of the sort. That will work out. Magis pushing in towards a Liege. He's already found 2. Looking for a 3rd. Making it happen. As Liquid take it 16-11. 2-0 in this Epicenter matchup. The upper semi-final of North America.
Yeah, both maps actually look shaky at quite a number of times for Liquid, but they do bring it back in the end and actually take the entire thing 2-0 to take on
11-1 was that second half stat line for Liquid and Optic and Overpass.
That's the
Just a single around really says a lot. Meanwhile, map number 1 was 16-13, 9-6, 7-7. I mean, it was a much closer game, but Overpass, we saw what Liquid could do. Optic definitely